Hello everyone, my name is Hector Mendoza. I have been posting a 8-part video on how to become an independent adjuster. And here's the subjects that I actually have posted. Um, all those are the names of the videos. Here are what you see in blue. If you type that, it'll go straight to that video. And basically what I'm doing is I'm explaining how to become an adjuster, what it takes, your minimum requirements. Then I'll go through the whole process from the first time you prepare to do an inspection all the way till the end. Now this is the last of the 8-part video. So like I said, if you want to see them in step from the beginning to the end, right there is the videos. So right now we're going to do basic guidelines in writing a compliance. And what compliances are narratives, notes. So let me explain how the process works. Okay, so I have created a bunch of documents, and everywhere I go, I create a new document with this thing's called tokens. And y'all gonna hear this word a lot. Well, not a lot, because there's not a lot of people that know how to do tokens, but I'm going to explain to you. You're going to understand what a token is if you hear that in the field. Okay, so you see all these documents right here. Those are just some of my documents that I have created with tokens. And what tokens are, it's a document that you create. When you import it into Xactimate, it automatically fills a lot of data that you you put. It's like almost like programming, but you put a line in there, and if Xactimate has that information, it puts it in there for you. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is the main one here. Now this document, if you hit Control F and go to headings, you see there's a bunch of headings here. You see all these headings? Basically, what those are, let me go here and, okay, so you see all of those? They're different documents, basically, which are combined all in Word. And so here, whenever I go to the inspection, this is or even, no, actually prior to the inspection, I start filling this data. This data then eventually will populate into all this other things, okay? And then further, once I put it into Xactimate, it's going to put more information in there. But so I'm going to expand everything. So let me expand it. So now the document is going to look large. Look, you see all of this stuff here? These are different compliances, letters that you're going to use throughout the process. For instance, let's say that I wanted to request a prior loss statement from the inside adjuster, or I just click here to the left. Or let's say that I couldn't get a hold of the insured, and I wanted to write him a quick letter. Well, you see these things here? It don't mean much to you, but when instead of me having to type their name, type their email addresses, I have it to where it automatically populates. Okay, so, and in addition, I have created pull down menus where when I'm out there, I want to get this thing done quick. This and labeling is probably one of the most time consuming processes. Now, with the way I've created this, and you're not going to see too much of this out there, they might give you some documents that have tokens, but it's not going to be nothing like the one you see here. I don't care if you've been doing this for 1 year or 10 or 15 years, you put 10 of the top adjusters next to each other, I doubt that they're going to have what you're going to see here, because you got to know Word, you got to know Xactimate, you got to know. This is very complicated, but I do want to show you how to write letters or notes or whatever you want to call them. So I just wanted to show you that. So I'm going to close now. On the previous videos, we got all the way down to where we've already done the estimate, and I throughout this whole process I have told y'all to be consistent with everything that you do, so that when your claim reviewers look at your documents, they can go through it real easy. And I'm going to explain it as I'm doing those notes. Okay, so we have Xactimate ready. Everything's good. I'm not going to go over that because there's another video on that. So I'm going to hit print, and I'm going to export one of those pre-populated documents. Okay, so I've created this. You're not going to get this, but this will let me explain to you how to do the narratives. Okay, so I'm going to double click here, and it's going to create this Word document. Okay, now, so you see how it says abstract? Word has a limitation as to there's limitations in Word, but you can work around it. So let me show you something. So if I'm going to hit Control C and I'm going to hit Control F, so I can show you what you see. Everywhere you see that yellow, that's abstract. I mean, it don't mean nothing except to me. Okay, so if I go in here and I keep on hitting Enter, anytime I put something in this area here, it's automatically going to fill something here anywhere you see that word. Okay, so and that's not part of the tokens. This is another thing that I do. So let's go over this whole thing. Okay, here we go. So this first part is for me. Every time I open up the document, I don't have to go looking for anything. I have everything I need about the inspection right here. So that abstract, and I know what it means. So let's say all it is I can manually tell the machine to put his telephone number there, but I personally like to put it there because sometimes they might have 3, 4 telephone numbers. They might provide you the wrong one in Xactimate or Xactanalysis or whatever their portals are. That happens all the time. Sometimes they don't even provide you with a telephone number. You have to request it, and sometimes that takes a couple of days. Okay, so let's say I'm going to put his name, his telephone number, the one that I know that I can get a hold of him. And let's say for grins, it's 469 888 4321. Now, everywhere that it used to say abstract, if I hit Control C, and now hit Control V, now look, you see how it automatically put that into different parts of the this documents is because I have gone in and I guess kind of like program this Word document to do what I want. So there's his telephone number. And then in a minute, everything will make more sense. So you see how I have everything in red? That lets me know either I have to do something to the document, because this thing has to be filled out perfect. You can't, you don't want to make the claim examiner go crazy. So this red is just for me to make sure that he does have an email address. I've already gone into Xactimate and I've already checked for the deductible. Now you see right here where it says set appointment for. So let's say that I have it set that I want to do the inspection on 12/8/2019. What I just did, actually, you know what, even better. So I'm gonna, okay, so 12/8 is gonna be, so it's gonna be, let me see, Sunday at 2:30, and then up, and you know you can put the date in parentheses. That date belongs in a bunch of different places. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So Control C, Control V. Now you see all these areas, it automatically put that in there because these are a bunch of different documents, and I don't know which one of these documents I'm going to use, but I want to put the information once. So that's why I did it this way. So let me explain further. Okay, so for instance, let me finish doing the first part. Okay, so I took care of that. That's a so that's just I just put a weird name for mortgage. Okay, so you see right here, it's going to populate further into all these documents. Age of home. The home is a 7-year-old home. Okay. Cause of loss. I can automatically make this thing populate, but I like to physically put it in there because they might tell you it's wind damage, but it's actually hail damage. So I'm going to put hail damage. Okay. I had to stop for a little bit because I had a phone call. It was my wife's. You got to answer your phone when your wife calls. Anyway, so cause of loss, hail damage. And then I can also, this is just for references, like let's say that there's all different kinds of losses that you can, like collision, fire, pollution. I have a list of things, but that's just for my reference. Origin. Where did the damage occur? Where did it start? Well, it started in the roof. Okay, so first notice of loss. I have this. So I got this little document, this little thing here. So I find my first notice of loss and I type it right here, and then you'll see why I did that as I go. Okay, now we're going to start the forms. So my first one is attempt contact notes. So you see it automatically put my name, my telephone number, and then I'll call to discuss with the insured and set inspection date call the following numbers. And so let's say I got this here just in case there's more than one telephone number, but for right now we're just going to say that that's it. And and then I'll also email the person. So it says left my name and number. So I put my telephone number and explain that they could reach me from the hours of so and so. Okay, so I would get this. I would copy it into my pasteboard. I would go into Xactimate, or sometimes you have to do this in Xactanalysis. Sometimes you got to do it in their portal, wherever. Sometimes you got to do it in 2 or 3 different places. But anyway, so then I go into claim info. I go to report management. I go into activity reports. I create so I'm going to import, and then you see right here where it says attempt or contact attempt. I'm going to hit OK, and here you see most people would go in here and they'd fill this out and fill this out. All I got to do is delete this and just hit Control V, and it automatically puts everything in there. So this is my first contact attempt. I would save it, and then so once I go into Xactimate, so if I go into Xactimate and I hit connect right here, this is going to send it to Xactanalysis. Sometimes Xactanalysis is attached to their portals, and so that information goes there. Now the customer knows, or your boss knows, that you attempted to make contact. In addition, the first thing you want to do also is you want to go to you want to go to your insured info, and you see right here. Okay, so this one doesn't have the profile. It's because I'm using a different profile, but right in here there should be another one that says contact made with insured, and then you would change the date, but this particular profile doesn't have it. So I wish I would have used another one, because this is just a fake one. So you would go in there and then make sure that they know that you've attempted to make point of contact. Okay, so now, so then we go back to our notes. Now it's a different time or a different day, or so now this time I actually make contact. So this is another, you see, each one of these things are different things that I can do. So let's say now I make contact with the insured. So this automatically populates for this, this information. I call and spoke to Mr. and Mrs. Insured. That that comes from Xactimate, because that is the, you see right here, that's what I named it. This is just a sample. So on the name information, that's what it automatically populated this for me. And then I set the appointment for Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Remember earlier I had set that information. Then while I'm talking to the customer, I'm verifying that his mailing address is different than his risk location. So you see how, and this is all done through Xactimate, or you're going to be typing this in. I don't have to type it because everything's automated. So you see right here, 1524, that's the risk location. That's where I'm going to go inspect. But where we're going to mail his information is at this address. He's probably renting this to his neighbor or son, or this is just his second location. Then I confirm that his deductible is $1,800. It could change. He might have changed it last week or the week before or yesterday. So, and then I verified the name of his mortgage. That's misspelled. Okay, verified insured. Um, who is going to be on the check? I asked him that information before I go do the inspection, because once I get that inspection, I want to write them a check right there on the spot. So now we've made contact. So contact, it has to be voice to voice contact. You can't leave people a message and state that you made point of contact, because you haven't. If they're texting you back and forth, that's sometimes that's the only way you're going to communicate, but that's really not a preferred method. So you want to try to make a point of contact. So we got that out of the way. Same thing. Then additional information. So let's say insured as a contractor, and then Jim Miller, and his telephone number is okay. That's very important. That you got it. And wife will be at the inspection. Insured was not able to be there. Okay, and then so I said the wife whatever. The good thing about doing this, you start writing and writing it on a piece of paper. You might lose it. I mean, it's going to be hard to keep up with hundreds and hundreds of names. So you made a point of contact. You're going to hit Control C. You're going to go to Xactimate. Then you're going to go back into the report management. Then you're going to hit activity report. You're going to import. You're going to one second. Okay. So you make contact with the insured. You're going to hit OK. Then you're going to select everything here and hit Control V. And that's all the data that we were talking about just a while ago. Then you would hit, and then it automatically going to put the date and the time that you did this. Now you can change those times. So let's say that you actually did that 3 hours ago. You don't want to put this hour. You want to put that other hour, because they're keeping track of you as to when you're getting a hold of the customer, when when you're going to make the inspection, and so those dates are kind of important. So hit save. Same thing. You're going to go to your control center, and you're going to connect. That sends that information. Now it's the next day. Now you're going to do the inspection. Okay, so on the inspection, I got different kinds of notes for inspections. Like for instance, I can do an inspection, and then I have to settle later. So this document is going to be different than the document that, for instance, settled on site. I was there, I settled on site. So I have a document designed for different scenarios. So let's say, and I normally settle on site. So we're gonna use this note here. So now this is what I would do. Okay, first of all, I settle on site. That's the first thing I'm going to tell my examiners or my supervisor, whoever is going to review my files. Either I printed it on site or email to the insured. So these are I created, these pull downs are my creation, so you can put whatever you want, so these are just things that I've created for myself. Okay, covers application. Okay, so covers application of coverage. So most of them are going to be HO3s, or you got condos, you got landlord basic policies, all kinds of different kinds of. So you're telling your examiner what you're inspecting, the cause of loss. You see it. Earlier I put hail. It populated it to this area, plus a bunch of other areas, but anyway, which either it's covered or not covered. So it is a covered, okay? So now you see, now I'm writing my narrative. Okay, so origin, where did it start? At the roof. That's where the hail hit. Okay, prior losses. Okay, reviewed the following prior losses. If there's, let's say that there was some there, then I would click here and type what the prior losses were, or I reviewed all prior losses and found no overlapping damages. You can put whatever you want, so it doesn't matter. These are just my wording. Now, here's the inspection. Now, remember earlier when I put that FNOL in that one, that's called the first notice of loss, by the way. So, basically it says insured explain that a contractor stopped by and stated that there was damage in the area, and asked if I wanted to have my roof inspected. Upon inspection, he found enough damage to the roof and asked me to call for an inspection. He said that there were damage to the roof, siding, window screens, fences, and detached garage. And this is just a little thing I just wrote just a few seconds ago. You see right here on detached garage, I don't have a detached garage. So you're going to have to go in and explain that there was not a detached garage, because they're going to be looking at you like, hey man, did you not inspect the detached garage? Well, you got to let them know. Because if they say that they have damage to this, and this, and there's not damage to it, then we have to write a, it's called a partial denial. Sometimes it's a full denial, and we have to explain why we're denying the claim. So that's why I bring this data in here, just for my sake. Okay, so I'm going to click here. Now that I've already reviewed this, I'm just going to delete it. I don't need it. So so inspect property on, and so let's say it was on the, actually I should have had a population here, but I'm just going to put something. And then no signed contract with a contractor at this time. Now, that doesn't mean there wasn't a contractor, they just don't have a signed contract. And so now, so overhead and profit is or is not warranted, so it's good to let them know. And in most cases, it's not going to be warranted. They'll always want overhead and profit, but it's not always warranted. So, and you know, I could have selected is warranted, but now we're going to go to the inspection. So this is the dwelling. If I had other structures, I would have other structures. You see right here, other structures. And then if there was additional structures, I would copy and paste these other structures. Anyway, so now here's the thing, and I did this intentionally so to show y'all something. You see how I have roofing first? Well, that's not the first thing I inspected. The first thing I inspected was my exterior. Then I went to my roof, and then I went to my interior. So if you look at Xactimate, you know, if you look at your photos, first of all, your photos should be the same chronological order as your inspection, your notes. You want everything to flow the same way. You see how I took pictures of the exterior first, then I went and I took pictures of the roof, and then I took pictures of the interior. Okay? Your narrative should coincide with that. Your inspections should coincide. So now let's go to the inspection itself. So let's go to the estimate. You see right here, here's my estimate. What's the first thing I have? Elevations. What's the next thing I have? The roofing. And then, you know, and then behind the roofing is debris removal, and then I have my interior. Remember, make everything real smooth for the, you know, whoever's evaluating you. Okay, so now, so keeping that in mind, like I said, I did this just to show y'all. Make sure that you reorder, put this in the order that you have. So the first thing I did was the exterior, right? Now everything's in order. You see, here's my exterior, here's my roof, here's my interior, and here's my other structures. Make everything the same. Okay, so now exterior. No inspection warranted or requested, because sometimes you're going to do just the inside. You know, they have a water leak, or they have, you know, air conditioner leak. So you didn't have to do the inspection. So, but there was a roof because it was held. Now, on my pull down menu, found damage to the following. Okay, to what? Okay, so some companies are going to require to use this program called Settle Assist. And if you look at my videos, it goes into detail. Okay, so I'm going to put Settle Assist used to complete the estimate. Now, the type of roof, excuse me, the type of exterior. You know, mine has two different things. Okay, so mine is a brick, and then I'm going to put comma. I'm going to hit Control V because I pasted that thing, and it also has some vinyl. So my house is a brick vinyl. Remember, this 7-year-old home, I did it earlier. It automatically populated because I went and did this investigation before I went and done the inspection. Now, so whenever you're filling this thing out, here, let me close this right here. Let me show you. I actually would do this in 2 monitors, so it would be a lot easier. Okay, so now let me. This is going to be a little kind of hard because it's a small monitor, and I want to show y'all how I do this. So let's say I have my Xactimate. So I'm going to start from the beginning. So I got my front elevation. Okay, so you see, and that's why it's important to keep everything in order, because now look how easy this thing would be. Okay, first I'm going to copy this into my pasteboard. Okay, so now look, so in my in my front elevation, the only thing that I have going on the front elevation is I got hail damage to my gutters, right? Not to my downspouts, just to my gutters. So here, all I'm going to put is hail damage to gutters. You see that big list I got? Almost anything you can think of with hail, I have it there. Okay, so now, so we're done with that. Now we go to the right elevation. I can close this up a little. That's as far as it'll let me close it. Okay, so in the front elevation, look, I got damage to my gutters. I got damage to my bead. I got hail damage to my wind screens, and also I got damage to my vinyl. Now, so the first thing, what's the first thing I see up there? Gutters. So hail damage to the gutters, right? Now I'm going to put comma and insert another one of those things. So the next thing I have is window bead, right? So I'll go hail damage to my window bead. You know, see, I don't have to type anything. I got this pull down menus going on. So then I got hail damage to my window screens. So, you know, hit Control V, and then I go in here. What did I say? Window screens. So there they are, window screens. And I got hail damage to my vinyl. So window screen, comma, Control V, and hail damage to my vinyl siding. Okay, so I got different kinds of, you know, vinyl siding. So I try to make it as, you know, for when they read it, it's easy. Okay, so in my back elevation, my back, which is my rear elevation. Okay, so you see how I got damage? I got it for the gutters. I got it for my vinyl. I got it for my screens. Okay, so I got 3 items that already have I have them right here, right? So look, I'm just going to hit Control C. Right before this one, I'm going to hit Control V. Now, so that gets rid of the first 3. So when I did my inspection, my estimate, I do everything the same order, so that when I start adding this stuff to my narrative, it all flows in. So now, in addition to my back elevation, I'll also have hail damage to my overhead door. You know, so I'll look for overhead door, pergola. Oh, there you go, garage door. Okay. Then I'm going to put comma, and so I also had hail damage to my air conditioned fans, right? So Control C, Control V. Now click here, and then go to my air conditioner. Okay, so HVC fins. Okay, now that takes care of my rear elevation. Now I got my left elevation. The only thing I got going on is just my gutters. So I just go to my left elevation and click hail damage to the gutters. Okay, now what's the next thing in my so I got hail damage to my fence also. Now I'm gonna make a different so I don't have fence here, so I'm just going to type fence. Okay, and what I'm going to do, see right here, I'm going to put hail damage to the fence. not stain, let me see, hail damage to wood fascia, siding vinyl, siding wood fence stain. Okay. now we're going to the roof. So the next thing is click on the roof. Now on the roof, it's a little bit easier. So, you know, I'm going to click here and found damage to the following. I use settle assist. The type of roof, you know, I got a list here. I don't have to type anything. So this is, you know, 30-year laminate. And there was only one layer. Okay. Then the pitch was a 5-pitch roof. And then the age, remember we talked about it. It was a 7-year roof. The condition was average. And then roof inspection findings. So here you can just put like there was hail damage to let's put this here. Found 8 hail hits on a 10 by 10 10 by 10 area in each slope. Okay, and then allowed full replacement of roof. Okay, you got to let them know what you're doing. Okay, and I actually have things that therefore I don't have to type, but I'm trying to get this thing done quick. So interior damage. Okay, so you see found damage to the following. Okay, and it's going to ask you if you use settle assist, so it's unsupported for interior damage. So now all I got to do here is go in here and just name, you know. Okay, so I would just type missing turbine cause water damage to the ceiling in the living room, and then the ceiling was continuous to the, and I'm going to look down here, hallway, nook. Whoa, so if you misspell something, oh, too wise, hallway. I'm looking down here because you know that's how I'm writing my narrative, because it has to match this thing. Hallway, nook, kitchen, dining room. I think the last one, and dining room. Okay. So other structures. No other structures found or reported during the inspection. Okay, now here, what you can go ahead and put yourself for them, you know, like a insured stated that there was damage to the detached garage, but the garage was attached. Found damage to the overhead door. Okay, and every one of these things are going to be different. So here, and then I did use settle assist because that's how I use my my measurements. So on personal property, you would go no personal property damage based on this discussion with the insured, and you can put anything you want here. Okay, so these are just my little notes that I use. Subrogation, known subrogation right here. Okay, no subrogation due to damages from a weather-related event. Now, some people care if you put this sentence in there. Some of them don't. So it's not going to hurt. Salvageable, no items with salvage value, and you will learn what salvage is. Recommendation, full covered for the above damages. You've already explained at the top what you're paying for. Okay, so now I can go ahead and see my whole thing because I don't I've already used my Xactimate to write this narrative. Settlement. I went over the scope after the inspection with Mr. and Mrs. Insured in detail. I printed it on site, emailed it, so I printed it on site, and then blah, 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 blah. I explained both the recoverable and non-recoverable depreciation. So, and let me show you what I'm talking about, because fences are a non-recoverable depreciation. Okay, so if you go to fences, oh, it's going to be up here. Where's my fences? Fences. You see my fence? You see right here? It's in brackets. That indicates it's not a recoverable. Fences are not, no insurance company makes fences replacement cost value. So you need to explain that to them, because they're going to think they're going to get a little check at the end, because initially you're going to write them a $339.61 check, and if they don't know, you're going to get a call and say, hey, I see you were going to pay me another $297.16, and that's why you explain everything up front, so you don't get that call, because you might that's one last call that you don't have to worry about. So my narratives, okay, pending. Okay, so you explain, okay, processing and payment or the following. Let's say that waiting on invoice for the AC report. Okay, so that's it. That's what you got to do. So now I click here. I'll go all the way to the beginning of it. I'm going to hit Control C, go to my Xactimate. You remember, you go to claim info, go to report management, activity, import, inspection notes, hit OK, then Control A, Control C, Control V, then you hit save, you go to your control panel and you connect, and it sends that information. Then the last thing that that most companies require you to do, I've already settled on site, right? So the last thing here, and that's not going to be in this order here, so I need to hit Control F, So I don't have to go looking for this thing. I'll just look back here. Now I just got to do my settlement. Uh, um, Actually, I've already settled on site. But if, uh, let's say, if you couldn't settle on site, you would go right here, and you see where it says settle on site? I mean, settle notes. Now this is a different day, and you finally got your that estimate that you were looking for. I went over the scope after the inspection with Mr. and Mrs. Insured, and then right here, I'm not going to be there, so more than likely I'm going to email it to him. Email a copy, then you're going to copy, go to Xactimate, import, and then do the last one is inspection closing note. You hit OK, Command A, Control C, Control V, put that note, hit save, go to your control panel, and you connect, and it sends it. Your job is done. You know, there's a lot of things that I haven't gone over because if I did, there's more to it than what I've showed y'all, but you're going to learn that. Now, you know, I've been putting this video for about 2 weeks because it takes a little preparation to do a video. You have to think, okay, what am I going to tell my audience? But even though it took 2 weeks, it only takes you, I close 3 claims a day. And what you saw in this last 2 weeks, and it's hours and hours and hours of video. I bet you it's I would say about, I bet you I got about 6 hours of video. In 2 hours, I can do, in the most 3 hours, I can do everything. Close the claim, write the check, and I don't care if it's a $40,000 claim, $100,000 claim. Might take me 4 hours, but it's real fast if you organize and you do things the way I was showing y'all, you know, like have all this automated stuff. That's the last of this videos. I appreciate all of y'all taking time to watch my videos. Now, let me show you my email address again, just in case. Do I still have that up on the screen? Yeah. So if you have questions or want to know how to do something in Xactimate, more than likely I can show you how to do it. I know Xactimate pretty good. So my email address is HectorMendozaAdjusting@yahoo.com. There's going to be a bunch of other little videos now. Now I'm going to go into detail on everything in Xactimate. So every one of these pull downs, I'm going to explain what every one of them are, and what's you know, what's the purpose of them. So, but I'll make them real small, short, so you know they're only going to be like 5 or 10 minute videos. But if you want to know something about what projects, you know, what that is, and what's the difference between local and cloud, how do you import new price lists, how do you update a price list, you know, I'll explain what, you know, the dashboard is, about preferences. There's 2 ways of doing preferences. One is for carrier, one is for individual documents. I'll explain about this document modules, about your contact manager. You see how it lists a lot all your clients. You don't have to go looking for them, and also some of the personnel that you are going to be associated with. It all is stored in that document. Okay, thank you for watching. Like I said, if you ever have questions, don't hesitate to email me. If you email me, I'm probably going to call you. If you put your telephone number, I'll call you. Thank you for watching. Bye.